The children of this East Yorkshire man killed by a drunk driver have spoken of their sheer anger after the man responsible for their dad's death received what they call an inadequate sentence. Off-duty paramedic Robert Woodruff had drank 10 pints before he ploughed into Richard Goodwin. For 2 decades, Hull Pride has celebrated the city's diversity, and now preparations are happening for this weekend's Pride Parade and Party. We've been speaking to people and groups about what Pride means to them. In the first of a series, we catch up with Hull Roundheads, which promotes itself as a totally inclusive rugby team. Week on week rises in COVID cases across Lincolnshire. What do you think is going on, and what's the reason behind the increase?
The highest numbers are amongst children and young people.
Adam Peaty is one of our greatest athletes. He's won gold medals at all the major sporting events. But when a 9-year-old girl from North Lincolnshire wrote to him earlier this summer, he was so touched that he put her letter on social media. In it, Rosie tells Adam he is her swimming hero. But what happened next? Vicky Johnson has more. Now, if you watch Graham Norton on a Friday night, you may remember this clip of Strictly Professional dancer talking about all things dance and pronouncing Hull.
Is it horror? How do you say it? Who?
He got there in the end. Well, it happens to the best of us, so we'll let him off. Tonight, we'll be speaking to Johannes Radebe ahead of his forthcoming tour, and that's coming to our... What are the biggest challenges for you in the police force?
I think, the biggest challenges in terms of...
And how can the public make your job easier?
We are putting out some...
Now, the Queen touched many people from across all different faiths and communities. Prayers were held at the Guru Nanak Sikh Temple in Scunthorpe today. People also signed a book of condolence. Speed rail line connecting the East Midlands to Leeds is being scrapped. Our political editor, Tim Idale, joins me now for some analysis. Tim, what's been the reaction to the announcement?
Well,
wow, some beautiful shots there. Now, on tonight's programme, we'll meet the 11-year-old boy from Scunthorpe who is turning the clock back to 40 years ago, to the 80s. He's gone a whole week without the internet to raise money for charity. He's been doing his homework at the library instead of online. Take a look at this. First, a Ukrainian woman from Lincoln says she is worried for her family's safety back home after Russia launched a full-scale invasion. Christina Clark told me she's keeping in constant touch with her family and friends, and that the military operation did come as a surprise despite weeks of warnings. Is obviously allowed from today to countries on the green list. From your professional opinion, do you think that this is a wise move?
well, it's...
Hello, welcome to Look North. Thanks for joining me. Well, first tonight, a woman whose partner was killed by a crossbow in East Yorkshire has welcomed a review of the current laws around owning the weapons. Laura Sugden and her partner Shane were attacked by a neighbour armed with a crossbow back in 2018. East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire MPs are preparing to vote on the government's new COVID restrictions, but the Prime Minister is facing a backbench rebellion as not all Conservative MPs will support his plans, including some from our area. They're objecting to mandatory COVID passes to enter large venues such as nightclubs. Well, our political editor Tim Idale